Alright, welcome back to Domains and Dimensions of Behavior Analysis and Applied Behavior Analysis in Early Childhood. This is video part 3, and this one's going to be a very brief video part. I talked quite a bit about this graph in the last video part, but I'm afraid I didn't make something crystal clear, so I just want to talk a little bit more about it. So in the prior video part, I emphasized how by using single subject experimental design methodology, I was able to conduct this clinical treatment evaluation to identify behavior change procedures or effective behavioral intervention components that decrease packing and increase chewing and swallowing for a target food, and this girl with autism and food selectivity. And I mentioned that it was a goal of her parents, right? So this research as a clinical treatment evaluation kind of blurs the boundaries between ABA practice and ABA service delivery. We're going to talk about ABA research and then ABA service delivery or practice. And we're going to talk about the latter, ABA service delivery and practice, in the next video part. So I want to clarify which elements of this study was ABA research. Okay, so specifically in the literature, researchers had not compared this non-removal of the spoon plus a chaser, non-removal of the spoon redistribution, non-removal of the spoon puree only, and table textured bites of non-preferred foods. No prior studies had compared these different intervention components for their relative effects on packing. And so what I did is I used what's called an alternating treatments or multi-element design, which consisted of multiple test conditions and a control condition alternated across sessions in a way that allows you to determine what the relative effects are of these different treatment components by comparing, in this case, by comparing the percentage of trials with mouth clean under those conditions with the percentage of trials with mouth clean under the table texture condition. Okay, so as you can see, NRS plus chaser increased percentage of trials with mouth clean higher, more quickly than the other conditions, NRS plus puree, NRS plus redistribution. And ultimately, each of those conditions produced 100% or was associated with 100% of trials with mouth clean in a session. And at this point here, ending this third session of NRS with redistribution was the last session in which the three different treatment components were alternated. At that point, I only implemented NRS plus chaser, exemplified by these three data points here, because NRS chaser appeared to be the most effective. Okay, so so that's ABA research in a sense that this part of the treatment evaluation was focused on answering a research question which could not be addressed only by looking at the prior literature, and that is which of these intervention or behavioral intervention components was more effective at reducing packing and increasing mouth cleans. And these data suggest that NRS plus chaser is more effective than NRS plus redistribution or NRS plus puree, but the findings are limited only to this participant. We cannot make claims about the generality of the findings until this study is replicated in additional participants. Okay, so I just wanted to contrast ABA research with ABA service delivery and practice by referring back to this treatment evaluation and emphasizing that this aspect of the treatment evaluation or of the study was ABA research, but overall this is more similar to or very much looks more like ABA service delivery or practice, where the goal is to help the client or the learner or the student meet a goal and ultimately reach some ultimate outcome that is associated with a large, meaningful improvement in their quality of life, which we're going to talk more about in the next video part.